It is about that time where I start golfing and I do not stop until I have completed the current collections event. Now this week I have collection number 2, the cute collection, and to be honest, it probably won't get much action out of me. However, I might use some of the emotes in the future, but regardless of the collection, we are going to start golfing right now, and I'm not going to be able to take the shortcut here on 16. Too much wind pushing me to the right there. And that's not a bad shot because I did go spoon and I did go a little bit under full power. So I should have a clear break in the trees here, which it looks like I do. I could have gone a little bit farther, some more power. But I think with wind pushing me a little bit to the right towards the hole, this will be fine.
Nice shot.
And I guess it didn't actually push me that far, but it was probably necessary to aim there just so I didn't clip the tree. Like I said, should have gone a little more power off the tee, but I do have a chance for a birdie here. And I do sink that chance, so a good 10 points to start off the game. And there were a few birdies there. So starting off the game, a 3-way tie for first place. Hole 17 here, we do have a strong tailwind, so I'm going to need very precise power here, especially because the hole is at the near side of the green. I cannot overshoot this.
Nice shot.
Ooh, and that is enough to get me onto the fringe. Now, luckily this area of the green's relatively flat. As you can see, the terrain map is saying it's completely flat, so it might not end up being a bad shot after all. And it looks like my ball went a little bit to the left, but not a big deal. And it looks like Ray also got a birdie there, so we're now tied for first with only one other person here as we move on to the semifinals, where we do get hole 10. A little bit of wind to fight through there as I red bar my shot. Looks like I will be landing on the rough off the tee, but shouldn't be a big deal. I can still chip onto the green from here. Ooh, and I curved that shot as well. So my strokes aren't too good here so far. Definitely gonna have to clean that up as the video goes on, especially if I want to stack some wins in this video. Ooh, and a pretty nice putt there to save myself to get the birdie. And a little bit of a scare there for me, but in the end, everyone does birdie, so I'm still tied for first on 30 points here going into the 4th hole. And it's hole 12 here with very strong tailwind, or sorry, headwind, so I already know I'm not going to make the shortcut.
Nice shot.
Which is fine, because I mean, everybody's going to be going around, so we're all at the same disadvantage here.
Nice shot.
And just giving it a little bit less power, just making sure I can land on the fairway. As you can see, more power, it might have rolled onto the rough, so my chip is going to be from the fairway here. Definitely not the easiest, got a lot of wind to account for, but probably just send it full power. It might be a little bit short, but it should be enough to get me on the green. And it actually wasn't short, but the wind carried me a little bit more than I wanted it to. So another decent putt there from me to give myself birdie. So I've hit some decent putts so far on 16, 10, 12. So I like the way I'm putting, but I really want to clean up my chipping game going forward. This is my first game of the day, so I guess I to be expected. Maybe I need to warm up a little bit more. But regardless of my approaches, I am still tied for first place. And I do believe getting first gives you more collection points. I could be mistaken on that one. We'll have to pay attention at the end to see if there's like a first place bonus. But even if there isn't, getting first place is obviously always the goal. I would like to rank up in this video as well. And 19 here, very strong wind. Would have been liked to be a little bit more to the right, but not a big deal. I will be able to use a 3-iron from here to chip onto the green. And not too sure though with this wind, because normally power-wise from this distance, it's enough to get you kind of on the beginning of the green, the near side. So I'll probably go a little bit under full power.
Nice shot.
Wow, that was a kind of a funny bounce there. I think I bounced on the fringe and then skipped the entire green. A little bit unfortunate there. I mean, a chipping chance for a birdie, if not par for sure. Obviously, I don't know where Ray is right now, so it is also up to how he plays. Alright, that was way too much power. I was thinking the wind would push me back more, but obviously not. And now I'm also not left with the easiest putt for a par here. But I do think that par looks like Ray also sunk par. So 47 points here to finish off the game. Not too bad considering the seed that I got, but closest to the pin here. And I also don't know if closest to the pin gives you more collections points. We will check though at the end when we do collect our points, but for the closest to the pin here, definitely not going to be going 3-iron because we are downhill, so we're going to need more power. And you can see Ray's ball there.
Nice shot!
Was on the fairway at the edge of the green. He did use a 3-iron, so good thing I didn't do that as well. But I do finish with a very nice approach there, especially considering the fact that I had to use a spoon on the tee shot. But 2 feet to 35 feet was not a closest to the pin. But that is going to be a W for the first game. Let's check how much rank I gain, and then let's look at the collections. That was actually quite a bit of rank, more than I normally gain. And I'm going to read the top here. Okay, so there was an extra 1.1 for the closest to the pin. I don't think I saw any extra points given because I got first. And only 162 collections points there. Now, there's not a ×2 bonus on golf right now, so this might actually take quite a while. This might end up being a bit of a longer video. We'll see how it goes though. Obviously, I'm going to be trying to win the games as I collect the collections. I think ranking up to S7 this video is also possible because I'm pretty close. Second match here, we got hole 8. Pin is on the near side of the green, so I'm probably just going to go full power with the 7-iron.
Nice shot.
And definitely would have benefited from some backspin there. So a tough putt to make here. Ooh, but I do sink that nicely. So once again, my putting is bailing me out. And there were a number of birdies there, 4 birdies. Looks like 1 disconnection. But a good birdie on my end to keep myself in the game early on. Moving on here, we got hole 9, 11-mile-an-hour headwind. So that will make it a little bit more difficult, but it shouldn't hinder the birdie chances too much. And we are able to sneak just under the tree there, so That was really my only concern, was stroke 2 getting caught in the tree. But gonna be at the end of the fairway here, where you would like to be for stroke 3. I wouldn't say this is the easiest pin position though, but I think maybe a little bit over 5.5 with some backspin.
Nice
I mean, I don't want my backspin to be too aggressive. Oh, well, I didn't even get any anyway, so
Nice
a little bit unfortunate. 22 feet away on a very tough green.
Nice shot.
Yeah, you know, I always struggle with this green. Anytime I am above the hole, putting downhill, I miss like probably 9 out of 10 times. So I guess unfortunate to get a par, but yeah, I did have a bad chip. I didn't get the backspin I intended to. So my fault entirely here.
Nice par.
But let's see what everyone else got here on hole 9. And it looks like no birdies there, so I guess I got saved there. I mean, that was a chance to pull ahead, take the lead, but luckily for me, I'm still tied for first. I wasn't punished by my missed putt there. Moving on to hole 16 here, into the semifinals now. And again, we're faced with a headwind going left to right if I were to take the shortcut, so naturally I cannot.
Nice shot.
And with this headwind, full power on the spoon is fine. Now from this position, obviously the wind is pushing me left to right, which allows me to go between the trees here, which is why going full power on the spoon is enough. And onto the green pretty safely, but I would have benefited from more power there. So still, my chipping, my approaches aren't very strong so far these games. Although here we go, yet again, saved by my putting. Pretty good putt there, it was from decent distance. And good birdie there too, because it looks like no one else birdied. So I am going to be holding a 3-point lead now going into the 4th hole of this match. Moving on to hole 18. Normally a pretty fun hole. It looks like we have some wind here though. Although, can't tell how strong it is right now. It's kind of strong, but can still take the shortcut, if you will, or just go to the left island.
Nice shot.
And I will say, calculating for the wind from this island going onto the green is kind of difficult on this hole. And let's see how close I can get here.
Nice shot.
You know what? Not too bad at all. We end up pretty much in line with the hole there. So good wind calculation. Pretty decent power too, setting myself up for a pretty close eagle putt. Just gotta make sure this green doesn't mess me up. And it does not, so a nice eagle there from hole 18. And check this out, the only one to eagle that hole was myself, so off to a 7-point lead now, with only 1 hole remaining, so the win you would expect pretty much mine. And the final hole, we got hole 14 here. It doesn't look like there is any wind, so probably just gonna see birdies and eagles. If that's the case, I will stay in first.
Nice shot.
And making it onto the fairway here nicely, so pretty straightforward chip onto the green. I gotta say, Albatross definitely on the table. Now, by no means going to be easy, but I moved a couple ticks to the right just to account for the hill on the green.
Nice
Let's
shot.
see how this ball goes. Ooh, just a little bit too much. Too much adjustment, and that backspin pretty much brought my ball to a halt, so... Good enough for an eagle, but not close enough for the albatross. So a pretty nice 55-point performance there. Ended up with an 11-point lead over second at the end of the game. And the lobby wasn't too good, so probably not going to rank up here. No, not quite. But one win, maybe 2 wins, and we will be ranking up. And it looks like we got 2 items here, so... Tracksuit, you will probably never see me wear that. And badminton racket, I never play badminton, so you'll never see that either. But here we are, on to game 3. Looking for another win. We do find another S6 player, so this should be a pretty fun match. The rest of the lobby, A players, a B player as well. Not only am I looking for the win, I am looking to get 2 collections here. I think I was left at like 50 or 60 collections points, so making it all 5 holes here should be enough to get me 2 items here. Hole 13, let's see what we can do. Some difficult wind.
Nice shot.
And it looks like a little bit too much power. And yeah, I do go onto the fringe, so not a very good start to this match. Ooh, I cannot be saved by my putting this time around. So a par there to start off game 3. So a little bit unfortunate they're going to be starting the game off in a deficit. However, it's a 5-hole game. There are still quite a lot of holes left to make a comeback on. So not too worried right now. Moving on to hole 15. It is a good chance at a birdie for pretty much everyone, so I might not make up any points here.
Nice shot.
But some people do struggle on hole 9, so might be able to make up points on like a couple of the people ahead of me.
Nice shot.
And again, not a good chip, so my approaches are really killing me here so far in these first 3 games. My putting though, well, barely saving me there. I almost didn't give it enough power. And yeah, as I thought, I am going to make up points on a couple of the people who are ahead of me. Now I'm still down on first place by 3 points, but slowly but surely I'm starting to make a comeback. Now hole 1 here, really not at all what I want to see.
Nice shot.
Maybe the wind is going to be a problem for one or both of the players in first, we'll have to see. But as you guys know, really hard to make a comeback on holes 1 and 10. Gotta play with the cards that I'm dealt though, so birdie, absolute must here. I think that is the best thing I can do for myself realistically. Obviously I'm going to be attempting the chip, but it is going to be difficult.
Nice shot.
Yeah, I didn't even come close to getting the wind right.
Nice on.
Should be able to sink the birdie putt though.
Nice birdie.
And honestly, fair enough, birdies all around there. It is to be expected when you get hole 1. And at this point with 2 holes left, obviously I still have to play well, continue hitting good strokes. But there also is an element of maybe one of the players in first has to mess up if I want to get back in the first position. Or not back into it, I was never in first this game.
Nice shot.
But depending on how this hole goes and what the next hole is, it could be a matter of them messing up, not only me playing well. But I mean, I'm liking the wind right now. Maybe an eagle is possible here.
Nice shot.
Alright, so with that wind, I am going to leave myself on the green, putting for a eagle.
Nice on.
However, it is 45 feet away, so... Ooh, very nice putt there.
Great eagle.
Nice long putt to sink the eagle. And with that, good play there on hole 3. That will be enough to put me into first place. So there it is. I guess I didn't even have to leave it up to how my competitors play. Took the situation into my own hands. Now I hold a 1-point lead going into the finals, where we land on hole 7 here, so have to continue to play very well. Only a 1-point lead, which means if either of these two players outplays me by 1 stroke, they will take the win. Wind isn't too strong, so let's see how this hole goes. Pretty good position here for stroke number 2.
Nice shot.
Let's see if that was enough power. Alright, looks like it was enough power. The wind carried me nicely. Didn't get that aggressive backspin. So I think sinking this birdie is a must if I want to win. And I do sink that nicely. So a very good 51-point performance there. And a great comeback, to be honest. After going down on the very first hole, took me a few holes to get back into it, but that is going to be another win. And beating that S6 player, probably enough to rank up, to be honest. And there it is, getting myself back into S7, as I am in the midst of completing the collections event. 2 more items, let's see what we get here.
Yeah. Yes.
And 3 games in here, I don't even think I'm halfway yet to completion, so this is probably going to be like a 6 or 7 game video. Let me know if you enjoy this style of golfing until I complete the collections event. Killing 2 birds with 1 stone here, as I also ranked up in this video.
Nice shot.
With 3 wins after 3 games, so pretty good performance so far. Although I will say I feel like my performance hasn't been too good. Missed a lot of chips. But, I mean, it's been enough for a win, so let's try to keep that going.
Nice shot.
And that is a bit of an unfortunate bounce.
Nice.
Pushing me right of the hole, but I will be sinking birdie here. That is to be expected though. I mean, it was hole 10 with 2-mile-an-hour wind, so like I said, expected, and just about all birdies here. There was one unfortunate par. 7-way tie for first as we move on to hole 11 here. To be honest, I don't think 7 iron is going to be enough, so we'll go 5 iron. It'll give me a little more roll too, which will be nice. Well, not quite enough roll there, because it looked like I was dead on target, but my ball just stopped rolling 4 feet away from the hole, so pretty close to a hole-in-one there, I must admit. Although birdie is going to be sunk here on hole 11, and mostly birdies there, although there were enough pars to eliminate 3 people. It is now a 5-way tie going into the semifinals. So hole 17 here, with this wind, I don't think I'll be able to get onto the green.
Nice shot.
Yeah, not quite enough power there. Or, I mean, I went full power as much as I could, but the wind was just a little bit too strong. And you know, putting is kind of tempting because the green is flat, but I do think the fairway's curved a little bit, and I don't really want to calculate that, so I will chip. And not quite enough on the chip there. Wind pushed me a little bit too far.
Nice par.
And all pars there. I guess that's not really surprising because we all had to chip if we want to get birdie. So still, 5-way tie going into the 4th hole here, which is hole 18, so we could see some separation in the standings here. We'll have to take a look at the wind first. So with this wind, definitely able to make this route.
Nice shot.
And if you remember the last hole 18, we had similar wind. It was directly left to right, just 17 miles an hour. So hopefully I can, you know, have a nice wind calculation to get onto the green like last time. And hole is in a pretty similar position, a little bit farther back.
Nice shot.
And again, that's not too bad.
Nice approach.
Only 8 feet away from the eagle putt, so I will take that. And there it is. Very nice 14 points here on hole 18. And 2 eagles there, 3 birdies, so now it's only a 2-way tie for first. However, everyone's going into the finals, so we have a 5-person finals here, which definitely makes things interesting. Once again, the final hole is hole 7. Doesn't look like there's any wind here, so probably gonna need the birdie at the absolute minimum to stay in first. While there is 4-mile-an-hour wind, but very, very negligible, so it shouldn't affect my birdie chances. Now from here, just a little bit of wind direction to account for, and a little bit of green.
Nice shot.
Hopefully that's enough power. I did intend to go a little bit under, full. Looks like it was pretty decent power. Did not get the wind right though, it pushed me a little bit farther to the left. Only 14 feet away, but it's not the easiest putt.
Nice birdie.
It is a nice putt after all, sinking the birdie. And with that, I will take my 4th win of the video. Another 51-point performance. It ended up being a 3-point lead over this guy in second, who he did par this hole, which is why I was able to win outright. Add some more rank to the S7 bar here, and I believe that's going to be another 2 items unlocked. And 2 items indeed. And after this, I will have 5 more items to collect. Now with 5 items left,
The
if I
contestant.
continue to get 2 items per game, this is going to be another 3 games in the video. So far, we're 4 games in. I do have 4 wins, and some pretty decent wins. I mean, that first one was 47 points, but then I got 55, 2 51-point performances.
Nice shot.
So far, I think this has been a pretty good video. For game number 5 here, starting on hole 10 here, once again. I believe this is the 2nd or 3rd time I've gotten hole 10 so far this video, when there are some holes that I haven't even gotten once, like hole 2, hole 4, hole 6. So kind of interesting how the RNG is working, I guess. I'm not really complaining that I haven't gotten hole 6 or hole 4 really, but that was a pretty good approach.
Nice approach.
Just needed a little bit more wind adjustment, but to be 2.5 feet away, pretty good considering my chips have been pretty poor this video. And once again, just like the previous game, there are 7 birdies and 1 par here on the first hole of hole 10. And on to hole 11 we go once again. So I think it was just last game that we had hole 10 followed by hole 11. Could have been the game before that, I can't quite remember.
Nice shot.
Ooh, I didn't get enough power there. Or it was enough to clear the bunker, but it wasn't enough to... I mean, my aim was off anyway, so that's fine. Although I was hoping to go a little bit farther and then backspin to about in line where the hole was. Didn't matter in the end because, like I said, as you saw, my aim was pretty bad. But a birdie there nonetheless, and that is going to put me in a four-way tie for first. Looks like this game we're only saying goodbye to one person, moving into the semis. Hole 13 here, we got very strong wind. Now I'll probably go just a little bit under full power on the 7-iron.
Nice
And
shot.
I guess hope that I get the wind right. I did curve that to the left, so... yeah, it looks like it is going to push me farther to the left than I wanted.
Nice on.
But at least the aim, or not the aim, sorry, at least the power was pretty good. And I am able to sink birdie off hole 13. Looks like one of those players who was tied for first is going to be dropping off, so still tied on 30 points. Only with two players though as we move on to hole 14. Very, very strong headwind off the tee and a little bit of direction, so this is going to be an interesting hole.
Nice
I
shot.
hope that is enough adjustment and everything. Looks like it is. Pretty nice. So not going to hit any trees there. Also going to have a clear drive onto the green now. However, pretty difficult wind to calculate, I will say.
Nice shot.
It is a little bit of a tailwind, so don't need full power, but looks like I got the direction wrong anyway, so stuck in the bunker here. And had I missed the bunker, probably would have been on the green, but I would have been pretty far away from the hole, so eagle would have been difficult even if I missed the bunker. Ooh, and way too much power there.
Nice on.
So 15 feet away on a hill here to sink the birdie putt. But a nice way to sink birdie there, still save 10 points. And check this out, looks like two parts from the other players tied for first, so I guess that was a pretty difficult hole for them. So I now hold a 3-point lead and solo first place going into the final hole, which is hole 21 here. Honestly, pretty fun hole. I do enjoy playing it. It is difficult though, obviously. I do have an advantage right now though, being up ahead by 1 stroke. Let's see if I can hold on to that.
All round.
Try to maintain first place here.
Nice shot.
And club down to a spoon there, just in hopes that I will land on the fairway. I wasn't sure if driver would have sent me too far. I do see some balls up ahead in the rough, so yeah, there's two players there. Good thing I did go spoon. I'm ending on the fairway. And this is a tricky hole position.
Nice shot.
But let's see how our approach is. It was close. Almost backspun into the hole there. I guess it wasn't that close, but
Nice on.
all things considered, it wasn't too bad. Although, definitely some slant to account for here. Really hard to tell how much, though. Ooh, just not enough power. And looks like our ball is going to continue to roll. Alright, well, had I put a little bit more power on that first putt, would have been a birdie, but instead settling for par. And it looks like there was 1 birdie there. So well done to Ty for getting a birdie on a pretty tough hole. That is going to send us to a closest to the pin. Second time this video, let's see if I can get the same result of first place. And honestly, a pretty close approach. We were 2 feet away last time I had a closest to the pin. Well, can't do much better than that, can you? Quite literally 0 feet away in the closest to the pin. If you want to secure first, that's the way to do it. Ended up beating my opponent by 8 feet, and I'll definitely take the W. That'll be, is that 5 games now and 5 wins? I don't know how much rank we're going to get here. I think it was a lower rated lobby. Yeah, it wasn't that much there. But that should be another 2 collections to eat away at the 5 left.
Got it. Yeah.
And game number 6 here with 3 items left to go. Looks like we find Ty once again, the person who I demolished, for lack of better words, on the previous games closest to the pin. Starting this game off, hole 16, it looks like there's no wind right now, so definitely chance for an eagle here.
Nice shot.
Going to be going through the shortcut here, landing in the bunker. And pin position looks okay for the chip. A little bit of curve on the green, or not curve, but like slant. Let's see if I adjusted enough for it. Ooh, I just bounced right over the hole there.
Nice on.
I meant to go a tad under 1 dot. I ended up getting a tad over 1 dot. And my ball skips directly over the open hole. So unfortunately, settling only for birdie here on the first hole of this game. So 4 birdies there. Honestly, with 0 wind, I would expect a number of birdies on hole 16. Again, a little bit unfortunate that I couldn't secure the chip-in eagle there, but gonna have to move forward from that, moving on to hole 17. And 20-mile-an-hour headwind. Full power driver. Don't know if it's gonna be enough to get onto the green. We will find out here momentarily.
Nice shot.
No, it was not. But it looks like everybody is gonna be on the fairway here. Pretty nice chip there, though.
Chip in birdie.
That will give me another 10 points, and there were a couple of other chips that rolled in, so this is a good way to keep myself in the game for now. So it looks like 2 or 3 chip-ins there, and only one other person tied for first got it, so it's now a 2-way tie going into the semis. Honestly, these games have been relatively close. There's been a lot of ties, especially going into the semis, so pretty good game so far. Moving on, we have hole 5 here. Very, very strong wind. I'm gonna club down to a spoon here just to be safe. I might even be in the rough anyway. Ooh, that's really, really bad. Bunker for me, which means I'm gonna have to take an extra stroke just to get out of the bunker, although looking at this, I don't know if I can make it. I'm not gonna risk it though. But I will try to get myself onto the fairway at least, so I have a better stroke 3. And I am here. Maybe a little bit too far, or farther than I wanted to, but with this wind, can possibly drive onto the green. And I definitely can. I really don't know how much power here, though, to be completely honest.
Nice
I'll just
shot.
go full power. I am downhill. Ooh, but that wind. Well, but still on the green here, so
Nice on.
chance for a birdie. The person who was tied for first with me did get a birdie, so I am gonna have to sink this putt if I want to stay in a tied position for first place. Ooh, very nice there. Just sunk that, but that is gonna be a good 10 points here. And yeah, there it is, gonna be on 30 points now. Still tied for first. Moving on here to hole 6. This is the first hole 6 of the video. The entire session I haven't gotten it once. Honestly, it was nice while it lasted. I've said this before, but you cannot run from hole 6. Now, 0 wind here, so obviously easier than strong wind, but I don't like this pin position. It's going to be pretty difficult.
Nice shot.
Because we're going to have to chip over that tree, the far tree. But then we have to get enough power to clear the tree, but then not too much power that we go past the bunker. So need a lot of precision here.
Nice shot.
Okay, barely cleared the tree. And get pretty nice backspin. So,
Nice on.
all things considered, pretty good approach. I adjusted a little bit too much to the left. I was expecting my ball to roll to the right when it hit the green, but as you saw, it didn't really roll there. It just bounced once and then backspun. And a great birdie there on hole 6.
Nice birdie.
And it looks like Jesse could not secure the birdie as well, so going to be giving myself a 3-point lead, solo control over first place. Moving into the very last hole, which is once again hole 21. Once again, tricky pin position as well. So again, really nice that I have the advantage here going into a special hole.
Nice shot.
And this time I went full power. I do wonder if I can clear this rough and bunker area. Land on the fairway. So I do clear it, unfortunately, on the rough. I just needed to go a little more to the right. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Actually, very unfortunate because had I just cleared the bunker, I would have rolled down onto the green, given myself a chance to putt for a birdie. And honestly, if I chip this, my ball's gonna roll all the way down into the fringe area. I really think putting's the move here, but I don't know how much power exactly to give. Well, it looks like it wasn't quite enough.
Nice approach.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Well, you know what? The only thing I could think about when I was making that putt is micro putt. And if you don't know what a micro putt is, it's where you have like a really short putt, 2 feet, 3 feet, and you underpower it. Happens all the time. So I made sure to give it enough power there, and of course that was too much. Honestly, you just can't win. So thankfully for me, that is enough to stay in first place, although 45 points, pretty embarrassing finish. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you probably just think I'm like really bad and that was just a terrible putt. If you know what I'm talking about when I say micro putt, you know that, I mean, you know what I'm trying to say. Like, there was a very high chance that I didn't give enough power on that first putt and it misses the hole and just rolls down. So I did have to give it more than normal, and it ended up being too much. I bounced through the other side of the hole, and with 3 items left, I only got 1 there. So collection points, kind of hard to come by right now. But on to game 7 here. If you are still here watching the video, okay, first of all, we just found an S9 player. I had to kind of get closer to the TV. I couldn't tell if that was 9 or 0. But this is going to be very interesting because I am 6 wins for 6 games this video. Let's see if my undefeated streak can continue against this S9 player, or if she's going to put an end to it. But as I was going to say, if you've made it this far and you've watched the whole video, huge shout out to you. I appreciate everyone who watches my videos the full way through. But on to hole 13 here. We have pretty tricky wind.
Nice shot.
And it wasn't the worst approach in the world.
Nice on.
I mean, it is no hole-in-one, but that is hard to come by on a par 3 with maximum wind. But a very nice birdie putt there to start off this game. So only 2 birdies there. Myself and the S9 player. So this is pretty exciting. We will see how this game develops. Is one of us going to drop off? Are we going to be ending up in a closest to the pin? We will find out as the game goes on. Moving on to hole 15 here.
Nice shot.
So interesting chip here. A chance for an eagle for sure.
Nice shot.
Now that might not be enough power. Never mind.
Nice on.
Just barely lipped the hole there. So had I been a tad more to the right, it would have been the chip in, but instead, settling for a birdie. But I mean, I guess I can't really complain for a birdie on a par 4. And the S9 player had a nice chip in birdie there. Saved herself after being on the fringe, but still tied on 20 points here.
Nice shot.
On to hole 10 here, we have pretty strong wind left to right. In what looks like a somewhat difficult pin position.
Nice shot.
Okay, not nearly enough wind adjustment there.
Nice on.
Get the birdie there though, so still on 30 points here. And still tied for first here after 3 holes, so we are going tit for tat right now with 2 holes left in the match. Is one of us gonna blink, or are we gonna be tied all the way through to the very end? I am expecting both of us to eagle here. Obviously, we'll see how it plays out.
Nice shot.
Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go full power on the 3-iron with backspin.
Nice shot.
And that ended up being the right call
Nice.
because I landed less than 5 feet away for the eagle putt. Had I adjusted better for the wind, would have been maybe the albatross. But I will not be complaining on a eagle here for hole 12. And as predicted here, 2 eagles from myself and the person tied for first. So we'll see what the final hole is. It would be really nice to win here because that would be some good rank. It's not often that I match in the same lobby as someone who is higher rated than me, so I really want to take advantage of the opportunities when they come. And she's S9, so it's a couple ranks higher than me. A win here would be good rank, but we are on hole 18, so
Nice.
again, I would expect 2 eagles here from both of us. Although, there is 20-mile-an-hour wind, so it's not like a free eagle or anything. Now, I'm a little bit stumped on the power here. 5-iron, definitely the play, but like 3.5. I think I'm gonna try to get like a tad under 3.5.
Nice shot.
He might be a little bit light. Okay, actually no, not light at all. But
Nice on.
wind pushed me a little bit too far to the right. And if you saw it, the other player did get an eagle. So eagle here, we go to closest to the pin, a missed putt, and I lose the game. But yeah, relatively easy putt to be honest. So 58 points here. And the 7th game of this video is my best one so far on 58. And what's funny is that I might not even win with 58 points. Still have to fight for first in a closest to the pin here. 2 for 2 on the pin shots this video. Let's see if we can go 3 for 3. Ooh, if this is the exact same one as the very first hole, that would be good because I had a really good approach there. Let's take a look at the wind though in the pin position. Okay, so it's definitely not the same. And I want to go the same power, but I do forget what the wind was on the first time I did this. Let's see how that goes. Could have been more to the right. Ooh, and that was way too much. That's not that good of a shot. Let's see where my opponent is. And I didn't see her ball on my screen, so... Ooh, look at that. A very nice win over an S9 player. 26 feet away from the closest to the pin. Wasn't that good, but I'll take the win anyway. So far, that's 7 games, 7 wins this video. 3 closest to the pins, 3 wins. A nice little bit of elo there as I move halfway up S7. And with 2 collections left, or 2 items I should say, that is going to be enough to finish collection number 2, the cute collection, that I will probably won't use any of these items for.
Completion bonus.
But nice to collect them anyway. If you guys did enjoy this video, do hit the like button. Thank you for sticking around to the end, and I will see everyone in the next video.